You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver media podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and the Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
Well, that was a weird.
Yeah, that ended very abruptly.
Well, good morning and hello, kids and cubs, and welcome to Season 3 and episode number 193 of the Daily Beaver Morning Show here on the Crier Media Network. Yeah. Today, recording.
You forgot the jazz hands.
Yeah. Oh man. Today.
Oh, we're having technical glitches there.
Yep. Today recording day is Thursday? I'm guessing.
It's the 24th. I don't know what day it is.
August 24th, 2023. And it's going to be a cloudy day with some light showers in the afternoon here at the Beaver Lodge. Yes, it is indeed Thursday. I'm your host. Facts first, people. Facts first. I'm your host, the Eager Beaver. Pronouns he, him. Hey, Mr. Beaver. Hey. Oh my God, I got the giggles already. And with me, as always, is my dear friend, Mr. Grizzly. Of course, a big thank you goes to our founding sponsors, the Peppermaster, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, and CanadianTarot.com. And again, I did it without looking. Yay me. We have a Thursday morning nibble for you. I'm running on very little sleep, kids. I'm a little punch drunk and slap happy today. We have a Thursday morning nibble for you. But before we get started with the show, we do the most important thing we do every morning is say hello to you, Mr. Grizzly, and ask how's your mental health today, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Beaver. My mental health is great. I'm not fully awake, but that's okay. I went to see Rod Stewart with my mom last night.
If you want my body, yeah, I can think I'm sexy.
And that's her favorite song, of course.
Of course.
Opening act was Cheap Trick, and I'm sitting there with my mom, and she's like, she goes, they're really good. I remember a lot of their songs. I'm like, yeah. I said, so that guy there on the left with the baseball cap, that's Rick Nielsen. I go, he is 1 year younger than you. She's like, oh. I go, and the guy on the far right, yeah, that's the guy in the middle, the lead singer. That's his son. And the guy in the drums is Rick Nielsen's son. And then the other guy, the three old guys on stage, she goes, yeah. I go, they've been together since 1973. She's like, oh my goodness, that's 50 years? Yep. Cheap Trick's been around a long time.
Yep.
They
It's
put on a
marriage.
great show.
Yeah, because we were talking a little bit off the air, and you weren't sure if she was going to really remember Cheap Trick. And I said, oh, yeah, she'll recognize the songs.
Well, the first 3 songs I didn't recognize.
Okay. Oh.
Well, and of course, you know, the first 3 songs are like adjusting the audio, and you couldn't hear the lyrics at first, and then they get that fixed up, and I'm like, still not. I don't recognize these. The first 3 songs. I think they were off the last 2 or 3 records, which probably I'm gonna not lie, I haven't heard. I haven't. Yep. But then they started pulling out some of their hits, and you know, they played when they played "I Want You to Want Me." Of course, the place went nuts. My mom's like, I remember that. They played "The Flame." The place went nuts, and my mom's like, I remember that. I go, and the last time I saw them, 1988, was when that was a worldwide #1 hit for them. She's like, oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yes,
Cheap
I
Trick
was at the X in 92.
1992.
I was and the last time I saw Cheap Trick, matter of fact, the last time I saw Cheap Trick and Rod Stewart was in 1988 at Super X here in Ottawa. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how old I am, folks.
Yeah. If my mom were still with us, I would have been at the concert with you.
Oh, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. So we get in and we got there. So I left the office. I got home. I jumped in my car. I drove straight to my mom and dad's place and had a bite to eat. She said, we got to go right away. And I go, no, Mom, it's like 5 o'clock. The show doesn't start till 7:30. What about traffic? I go, we got lots of time. So we left at 6, got there at 6:40. My folks live in Orleans, and you know where the CTC is. On a good day with no traffic, that's a 30-minute drive. So your mic's off, sir. You've gone mute for some reason.
Sorry. That's good time.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, that's great time.
Yeah.
40 minutes with a concert and traffic was heavy. I was like, well, that was much quicker than I expected. So as we pull into the parking lot, she's like, oh yeah, there's the doors don't open until 6:30. She goes, and it's 6:31. You can go in now. It was
you really didn't want to miss her Rod, eh?
No, and here's the thing. Like a Cheap Trick, that they looked, I mean, they're in their 70s, so they looked, but they still put on a good show, and they still sounded really good. And Robin Zander, the lead singer, could still hit the high notes. But it was Rod Stewart who I was most impressed with, because he still got it. Sure. And my mom said, well, he looked a little older and a little slower since the last time I saw him. I'm like, and that was? She goes, about 10 years ago. And I go, well, she goes, yeah, of course, you know. What is he, 76 or 78? I can't remember.
78.
78, yeah. So, and he'll be 79 in December. So, you know, he's still up there moving, still had a great time. His voice sounded good. A 14-piece band.
Did he do any of the crooning stuff as well?
Didn't really do any of the crooning. It was mostly hits. He was on stage for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Which is a lot, right?
Yes.
It is a lot. Good production quality. He had 6. When they first walked out on stage, they walked out and they looked like he did the Robert Palmer.
Addicted to Love thing?
Thank you. Addicted to Love It. Yeah. And he had the women all dressed up in black and pretending to play the instruments. And they were doing backup singing and the whole bit. And I'm like, wow, they're really young. Then, you know, because you've got 8K screens everywhere. They came out on stage, costume change. They come out on stage for the next thing, and the women were all dressed the same in similar costumes the whole night, like all the same uniform, right? Same with the men; they were all wearing the same thing. So it was really upscale, high scale production. And when the women came out and started to play, one of them was playing. 2 of them were playing the fiddle. One was playing a mandolin. There was one woman who was a percussionist and a harpist. Like literally had a full scale harp on stage.
Wow.
And 2 or 3 were just basically backup singers. And a couple of them took the lead a few times. Well, here was the thing. When the camera zoomed in, I'm like, oh, they're not kids. These are seasoned veterans. They look younger than Rod Stewart because, well, they are. Mm-hmm. But I guarantee you there was not a person on that stage last night that was under 40. Mm-hmm. Not a one. They were all 40 and up. And you could see it when they show up, you know, when you get the close-ups of their faces. But they were all like just a crack band, tight musicianship, well orchestrated, well played. It was a really, really good show. High production quality. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. It was much better than I anticipated.
Wow.
So I really, really liked it. Yeah.
Oh,
I got some video. We might be able to show a clip or 2 here and there, but Got to keep them under 30 seconds, right? We don't want to get into trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well,
Although
I'm so glad.
fan shot stuff at a live concert, I don't know if that's subject to the same copyright issues, right?
I really
I don't know.
I'm
But
ignorant
either
about
way,
that.
we'll show just a couple of seconds, you know.
Yeah. Oh, well, great. Well, hey, Mama Grizzly, I'm glad you had a wonderful time.
Yeah, we really did.
That sounds like a fun night. That sounds like a fun night. All right. In the news, there's so much news.
Oh, is there? I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, so much news. First, I'm going to go through some things a little quickly. India became the 4th country to land a spacecraft on the moon, and the first nation to land one on the South Pole of the moon. Now, this happens a few days after Russia's attempt to land on the moon failed spectacularly because their vessel crashed into the surface of the moon. And they too were trying to get to the South Pole. Scientists and researchers believe that the craters at the South Pole may contain some frozen water, which would be useful for establishing a base on the moon from which to launch off to discover other planets, I'm guessing. I think it's called the Chandrayaan-3 landed, supposedly landed smoothly. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was at the BRICS conference in Johannesburg, South Africa, but took some time to actually be with them through video live to cheer for that going on. It's a great achievement. It makes India the 4th nation in the world to land on the moon. And as Bo, the 5th column, accurately pointed out, Russia is not one of them.
No, they have.
The Soviet Union did in '76,
right.
but
Correct.
Russia has not yet. So Putin really needed this and did not get it. And Russia thus slips a couple of notches down the ranks in the international space race, and as well at the international poker table where everybody's cheating, as Bo calls it. They've gone down a couple of tables at the tournament. They're not playing at the main table anymore, which may explain what happened yesterday. The other big news that Wagner Group leader Yevgeny Prigozhin, who we had not heard of pretty much at all since he had tea with Putin after trying to lead a mutiny in June, which he pulled back on, produced a video, seemingly from Bamako, Mali, which is the capital of Mali. It seems that the Wagner Group is back in... back, not that they ever left, but he was back in Northern Africa because, well, you have everything going on with Niger. You basically have a strip of countries all across the top, starting from Mali and Burkina Faso, then Niger and Chad and Sudan and whatnot, that goes almost east to west on the top of the African continent there, that have all had coups in the last few years and have military junta leaders.
And that's not coup.
Yeah, that's not coup. And it seems that wherever this happens, well, then the Wagner Group just sort of steps in and say, hey, we'll help you with your defense. And then Putin gets a little bit more influence in that region. It seems that there were 2 Wagner Group planes in the air yesterday at some point, and one of them went down. 12 people died, and it is reported that Prigozhin was in the plane that went down. So this time it wasn't a window, and it wasn't an elevator shaft, and it wasn't a staircase where all the steps suddenly just went, all the steps
into a ramp.
Turned into a ramp all of a sudden. Yeah. Yes, of course, Daniel. Get Dan. It was an accident. Skippy air quotes.
Totally accident. He fell out a window onto a knife 47 times.
Yes. So reportedly, Prigozhin is no longer of this world. And once again, Putin reestablishes his international reputation as a man who should not be crossed. But yeah, really. So if those weren't 2 huge pieces of news already
Pretty
for
big,
the world,
if you ask me.
Yeah. Half the GOP clown car of last year showed up on stage for debate.
Oh, I caught
last year with it.
I caught like a clip on Twitter very early this morning of Joe Biden saying, like, I'm like, I must be asleep. Is that real? Joe Biden tweeting out this thing about them saying that they don't support climate change. They support the coup. I'm like, what is that? Did that really happen?
It did.
Oh
Was
my
one of the
God.
reasons I got to bed so late last night is I decided to watch it so you don't have to.
You took the...
Look at my face. Look
Yeah.
at my face.
Was that so that bad? That like really bad? Like, oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Oh.
So it was worse than a train wreck that you didn't want to look at, but you couldn't look away from. Like worse than that?
Oh, yeah. Kit Lindenham, it was a competition who could come up with the most outrageous crap. Pretty much, yeah. There were 8 candidates. You had a Ron Death Sentence. You had Token Tim Scott. You had Vivek Ramaswamy, another, I guess, really rich guy who decided to buy his own ticket in. You had Mike Pence. You had North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, who almost didn't make it because the day before he was playing a game of pickup basketball with, I guess, people on his staff and ruptured his Achilles tendon, something fierce.
Oh, that's painful.
That's extremely painful. You had Nikki Haley, and you had Asa Hutchinson, the former governor of Arkansas, and Chris Christie. Yeah. Ron DeSantis seemed to think that being loud and yelling would make him more convincing, and he had this really creepy smile, and he decided that he was going to try and play the Trump role by not following any rules. So they had questions, for example, like raise your hand if you believe that if someone is found convicted with a felony that they shouldn't be president, and Ron DeSantis, I don't think that's a question. Or raise the hand, if you think that some of these fires that happened in Hawaii could have been possibly caused a little bit by man-made climate change. And then Ron DeSantis again barreled in and starts answering rather than, no, the question was a show of hands. Do you believe? And just wrestled that right away because he wasn't gonna play that game. He definitely was not gonna show hands. So he acted pretty much like an ass.
As expected. I mean,
as
really,
expected.
Come on,
Vivek Ramaswamy. What the fuck?
Oh, that bad, huh?
Yeah, 38-year-old, darker than me.
I
guess from the business world, has lots of money, I'm guessing. Trying to out Trump, basically. Using a lot of jargons, nice white smile, flashing it all the time. In Iowa, he was doing one of his stump things like this, and he was actually singing, with music from Eminem in the back, lose yourself. I'm thinking
something tells me Eminem would not be supportive of that.
Probably not, but also Iowa.
Yeah.
Coming in as a guy named Vivek Ramaswamy, singing Eminem, talking about mom's spaghetti and barfing on your...
Yeah.
So he's trying to be like the cool, hip, modern one like this, and it's like, hey, he's doing a bit of it a Jamil Javani. It's just here in Canada who just secured a nomination. It's like, people don't expect people who look like me to be saying things like this. Right? So it's like, maybe if you elect a guy with pigment in his skin saying all the things that Trump said, maybe you'll trick the other people in America with pigment in the skin for vote for you, basically, is his campaign. But he's literally, he'll say the dumbest shit. I mean, Christie called him, said, you talk like you sound like ChatGPT on the stage. Like this, but it's like he doesn't want to support any more money for Ukraine. Doesn't, that generation is like, he's like 38, right? So it's sort of like there's like nothing attached to history. So he's talking about Ukraine like World War II never happened. Like just going into another nation and say, yeah, this is mine now, is just like totally normal.
As a footnote to that, when you mention Ukraine, during the Rod Stewart concert last night, he came out dressed with a yellow jacket and blue pants, and he says, I'm dressed in the colors of the flag of Ukraine. He goes, they must win. Then he sang a song and showed pictures from the war, and the very last photo was Zelensky, and he turned his back to the audience and saluted the photo. It was a pretty powerful moment.
Yeah.
So there's no question that Rod Stewart is on the good side of history, because he also did he saluted former Congressman John
McCain?
Good Trouble.
Oh, yeah, yes. Darn.
Somebody
Yes,
remind
he
me.
marched at. Oh God.
This is cute from Bridget. Yellow Jacket Man sings for Blue Jacket Man.
John Lewis.
Thank you, John Lewis. Yeah, he sang. He says this is the greatest civil rights protest song in history. I'm blanking out. Then he sang the song and he showed Martin Luther King and all these pictures, and then the very last image was John Lewis, and it had his date of birth and date of passing.
But was it What's Going On?
No,
Did he cover?
People Get Ready.
People get. Oh yes.
Which
Oh,
was
I
about
love
the
that
Civil
song.
Rights March that they
Yes.
had badges made up. People Get Ready.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I love that song.
Yeah.
And I loved his cover of it with Jeff Beck doing the guitar.
And that was the one. That was the one. It was also dedicated to Jeff Beck because he flashed Jeff Beck's photo. He did a song from Christine McVie as well. And then, of course, the Queen of rock and roll, Miss Tina Turner.
Yes. Well, Rod and Tina were really good friends.
That's right. Yeah. So, anyway.
I
just thought that was poignant because it was a pretty powerful moment. It really was.
Yeah. So, he's on stage just saying like the most literally. He's that guy, when you go. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Go get some coffee, Mr. Grizzly. He's that guy, when you watch the news and they're doing the streeters, right? And they're saying like, "What do you think?" And like this, and they put the microphone in front of people's mouths, and then they keep the clips of the people that say either they keep one clip of somebody who says something intelligent, and then they put all clips of like just people saying the weirdest stuff. He's the guy that rushes to the microphone to say the weirdest possible things to be sure that he could be on the news. Except he's really well groomed and extremely articulate and wears a very, very well fitting, expensive suit when he does it. So he's a choice, apparently. Nikki Haley had a couple of good moments trying to cut a bit more of a moderate swath in a way. Mike Pence had a couple of moments when he was doing the Defender of the Constitution thing. But it was not spectacular in any way, shape, or form. The debate itself was a bit of a mess. Donald Trump was probably laughing his ass off. And the thing that happened is that it seemed that everybody suspected that they would try to take down Ron DeSantis. And that didn't really happen. Oddly enough, I think people are assuming he's doing a good enough job taking himself out. But everybody seemed to be focused on Vivek Ramaswamy as being the threat, which is really interesting because that's kind of the thing that elevated 45 last time when they're talking about him like the threat. So yeah, it wasn't Ron DeSantis that was the focus of everyone's fire. It was Ramaswamy, which is very interesting. So whether or not that takes him down or whether or not that elevates him, because, the U.S. media grabs the narrative and says, oh, well, everybody's afraid of Ramaswamy. They were all, I guess. And then all of a sudden he gets all the attention. So we'll see how that is. But he's dangerous.
Ron
He's
DeSantis.
very, very, well, the sadist we knew, but Ramaswamy, he's very, very dangerous. Extremely dangerous. He's exactly. He got the most applause and cheers. He also got the most boos. He's dangerous. He's the guy that, hey, buddy, come over here. I'll tell you what you want to hear.
Meanwhile, he's robbing you blind, kind of like Trump did when his tax cuts came in that make the rich get richer and the poor get a whole lot poorer because their numbers over the next few years for the middle class and lower class are going to pay more.
And there's an air of smarm. Some people, when they smell it, that's why I'm going to do that. I wouldn't trust him further than I can throw him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Reasonable.
Just creepy vibe. All right. So those were the huge things Now, I had something else, but I'm not sure we'll have enough time this morning, unfortunately. So I'm going to try and pivot on the fly.
Okay.
Now, I had something, Elizabeth May had a very interesting press conference the other day where she was talking, ooh, where
Okay.
she was talking about election interference. Because for the last few weeks, essentially, the conservative line has been, oh, Justin Trudeau's not doing anything to move the file forward. And then one little article that appeared in the Star earlier this week stated that, well, no, I guess it wasn't that he was delaying. It's because the leaders of the opposition that did choose to be able to get their security clearance to see the documents, well, the clearances just came through.
Oh, interesting.
So that's why there was a delay.
Mm.
So for months, conservatives have been raising money. Justin Trudeau's not making it happen. He's delaying. He's like this. And really what we were waiting for was security clearance for the
Interesting.
2 of the 4 opposition leaders who applied to get it.
Very, very interesting. You see,
Miss
here's
May
the thing.
and Mr. Singh. But Mr. Blanchet and Mr. Polyev haven't done it yet. So they are the ones who are slowing it down by, again, just deciding that I'm going to go limp.
Mm.
Got to make myself dead weight, and you drag us. So she has seen the documents. She reported back on them. So we'll bring that in another show because I had clips from that.
Okay.
But just wanted to let you know that happened. That's what I had planned to bring to you. But again, so much damn news and
Yeah,
shorter day on Thursdays for us.
It's
So
tough to keep up with absolutely everything too. You know, the level of, like Tabby G says, just questioning the level of information available to review is unbelievably time consuming. It's interesting though that they played that card the whole time, and it's like, here's the thing you need to understand: top secret clearance, and then there's top secret, there's eyes only, and then there's cosmic. I don't know what level they require for this, but for top secret clearance, that can take months to go through.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight. You submit all the information and they do multiple interviews. And after they interview you, all the people that you've placed on your reference, they call and interview them.
Yep.
And those interviews are in-depth and very probing and very personal.
Oh yeah.
Unless you've ever had to go through it, well, let me just say they ask you questions that knock you on your butt. And it's done intentionally to try and catch you in a lie, because they need to see who you are as a person. Like they're psyche evals, basically.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
what it is, right?
Yeah, exactly. And just yeah. So we'll talk more about that specifically. The other big piece of news is that today is the day, folks. Today is the day that Mango Madness, the Tangerine Tornado, the Orange Shit Stain, the Shiitake Short Stack, turns himself in. Now, originally he was going to do that yesterday to try to usurp all the oxygen out of the room for the debate, but it seems that his lawyers overruled him. So, no, you will not be doing that. We will not have enough time to do that. We will be doing this Thursday morning.
But I'm the president. No, you're not anymore. And you can't tell us what to do. We're your counsel. We tell you what to do.
So this is twice this week now. Apparently, Trump was also told by his lawyers that he probably should not have that press conference on Monday where he was going to deliver that report that would totally exonerate him 3 years later. Because the 55 court cases that he lost wasn't the time to present that information. Now is the time to present. Anyway, this time I really mean it. I have this thing that will totally exonerate me. No, honey, no. So that apparently his lawyers told him not to do that, and apparently he listened. And then he said, "I want to do this on Wednesday." He says, "No, you'll be doing this on Thursday." And apparently he listened. And it seems that because he doesn't have any money anymore, it seems he's not paying for anybody's legal defense anymore whatsoever. So now he's got 18 people. If you can't afford a lawyer, like maybe Jen Ellis can't, right? Good way to get out of that is then to to make a deal.
Oh, yeah. You know there's deals being made left, right, and center on this.
But
you know
he's creating a situation now where the people that he needs to be loyal. Hey, call him up. Make sure he's still loyal. Right? That's the thing that was going on with Walt Nada and De Oliveira and Yusil Tavares and all of them, the people, right? It's like, make sure he's still loyal. It's like, well, oh, by the way, I'm not going to cover your legal fees. Oh, you don't have enough to pay them? Oh, so you're going to have to. He's setting himself up to have people turn on him. Right? But he doesn't have the money. And of course, what he's got 4 and maybe 3 more coming. Because there's at least 3 more states with voter electors things that are looking at stuff and says, no, the money's all mine. I need all of it for my legal defense funds. Like this, so none of it's for you. And since people aren't donating money at the rate that they used to be, apparently the rate of donation when he was charged the first time in New York, he had $2 million of donations that came in 24 hours or 48 hours. That's not happening anymore.
Slowed to
and all the people that he's calling to say, come and protest with me. Well, maybe about 600 people came and protest for you on January 6th, be having their asses thrown in jail, kind of acted as a deterrent because people don't want to come anymore. Some of them.
I'll pay your legal bills. No, you won't.
One of them even got an 18-year sentence.
Yeah, I saw that.
So,
This line of "I'll pay your legal bills" is hilarious because he doesn't pay his own. Why would he pay somebody else's?
Right. So, it seems that the Kraken herself, Sidney Powell, has turned herself in. Giuliani turned himself in yesterday. There's a couple of others that have. Mark Meadows didn't want to turn himself in by Friday because, he's saying that, of course, while I was doing all these things, it was in my official capacity. So he's trying to have this brought to a federal court, where still the state charges will apply, but wants to take out of the Georgia area because he thinks he'll get a fairer trial there. To which he had his lawyer send a message to Fannie Lewis says, well, as you know, I'm filing this thing to have my case moved from state court to federal court, and that will be resolved on Monday. So could you give us a little extension until we get that decision, and then we'll come in? If that's no. I'm not giving any extensions. I've given you 2 weeks. That was already extremely generous. I have things to file, arrest warrants to file at 12:30 exactly on Friday if your butt is not in here. Thank you very much. So, now it seems that all of this will be televised because it's Georgia. So if people want to tune in, because this might be the first time that you actually get to see the perp walk, and it seems that you will probably be able to get a mugshot eventually. Now, it seems that the Trump people went in and had an extra meeting because they tried to get that stuff also not to happen, because the Trump people had already taken a glossy, stylized mugshot that they were putting on T-shirts and stuff like that. But Trump said, no, I really want to go do the mugshot. It's going to make me look defiant. To which his lawyer said, no. So, yeah. But yeah, that might be your chance to get a bit of a perp walk if you've been dreaming. I've been dreaming of a Trump perp walk. And mugshot. So yeah, I hope they take off his orange makeup. Oh God!
Well, will they give his height and his weight?
Yes, they're taking his height and his weight, and apparently they were negotiating to not have that made public. And I see that our friend Dean here has started a pool. He thinks that he'll come in at 319. So the first digit will be a 3 and not a 2.
Yeah,
I'm thinking 279.
305.
But he is very tall and like
5'11".
He is shaped like a milk bag. So
5'11".
So yeah, he might. Yeah, I'm guessing he's really 5'11". That's 6, and yeah, I would not be surprised if the first number is a 3. But the thing with this one is, it's just again, right, the pettiness, right? It's like the man is so vain. So like, the DA in Georgia says, oh no, yeah, you will get them accepted, and we are releasing your height and your weight, all those little things that you've lied about. Yeah. So, the petty queen inside me must admit that she loves that Funny Lewis is trolling him so hard.
Wow. You know, hell hath fury. Hell hath no fury like a black woman scorned.
Yeah, well, hell hath no
Black
fury.
woman lawyer in a position of power.
Yes.
Oh, you are in deep shit.
Well, hell hath no fury as well, like Republicans who look like they're going to get their bacon fried because apparently it seems that the House Judiciary Committee or something like that are now want to open an investigation into Fani Willis. Because Trump has an order to not intimidate whatsoever, but I guess the GOP Congress doesn't have an order to not do Trump's work of intimidating Fani for him, since he can't anymore, because if he does, he'll see the inside of a jail before his trial even starts.
Yes. Yeah. Well, his intimidation tactics that he's used his entire life won't work this time, because it'll land him in a cell. He will end up in cell block D.
Da-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
Man, oh man.
Saucy. Karma can be such a beautiful thing. Yes. Yes. Yes, it can. Karma's a bitch, but she can be your bitch.
Wow.
Or a shock collar. Jen. Kid Jen. Oh. Gee, kids. We're not letting you run a jail. Holy crow. Yeesh. Oh, okay. Mr. Grizzly, do we have a show?
Yeah, just about.
Okay. Let's see. A quick little.
I got called a fascist.
Oh.
Sorry, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
I think they meant fashionista, and then they just got mixed up at the end of the word.
Sorry, I'm just going to laugh at this guy really loudly right now with
some pointing and mocking.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the really, really big stuff. A little update. Not much more news on the wildfires. 181 properties have been totally or partially destroyed in or around West Kelowna. I think last year we were talking about 90 structures, so now they've got the count up to about 181. And the Lytton First Nation was evacuated last night. They've been through so much the last few years. They're just
34 million acres have burned this summer.
Yeah,
34 million.
Yeah.
That's almost an acre for every Canadian. You realize that? Another 6 million acres, and it'll just be 1 for 1.
That's just it's just incredible. We didn't report on it, but you're living under a rock if you don't know. Spain won the Women's World Cup.
Yes.
And it seems that, like Team Canada, they too had problems. It seems they did it despite their coach. It seems they all hate their coach. Like loathe or despise him. They basically iced him out for all intents and purposes. Now there's some controversy with the coach because apparently he put his hands on some woman's chest during
he's done this before, and he kissed somebody else. And
seems to be like a real winner, this guy. Congratulations to La Roja, who defeated the not the Matildas. That was the bronze medal match.
The Lioness.
Defeated England. The Lioness. The Lioness in the final. A big success in terms of ticket sales, attendance, everything. But yeah, it seems that fighting with your federation was a common theme for many of the teams that were there. So
Canada.
Not okay. Not okay.
Here I've got something I got to show you quickly. So this is why I'm laughing about it, because I think it's hilarious. This is obviously somebody looking for engagement, and I'm not going to give it to them. Put this on the screen. The funny thing about Chrystia Speedland getting a speeding ticket is that Pierre Poliver handed coffee and donuts to people who came to overthrow our government with aid from the now indicted Mike Roman, who tried to overthrow U.S. democracy. There's your story. My response, exactly. My response, exactly. And then this person, the cannabinoid conservative. Yes, Freeland's grandfather was a Nazi. So what? She isn't. What's your point? Oh, that's right. You don't have one. My point is you are a fascist piece of shit. And of course, my response, okay, yeah, sure. Come on, really? Really?
Right.
I'm a fascist because I said the story is about Pierre Poilievre kowtowing to fascists. I'm the
No, I think you're the fascist for saying that, it doesn't matter that Freeland's father was a Nazi.
Grandfather. And we don't even know that to be true to begin with.
Yeah,
and
but it's like,
why do I care?
but again, this from the party that Pierre Poilievre can't be anti-gay. His father is gay.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, come on. Come on. Right. The thing about the Chrystia Freeland thing that everybody's like, so she was charged with. It's like, it's a speeding ticket. You're not charged with anything.
Well, Nazi Caillou coming out. She was driving at near criminal speeds. I'm like, near criminal speed. Criminals have their own speed limit in Alberta? Is that what it is?
What is near criminal speed? It's you're over the limit or you're under the limit. If you're over the limit, you broke the law.
If she was over the limit by 22 kilometers. A stretch of highway, the speed limit is 110. She was doing 132 when she got clocked.
Exactly, right? Like pretty much everyone on the 401. So I'm sitting there and I was like, here's like the thing about this that I find amazing is like she's so accomplished, right? She is your classic overachiever.
Yeah. All they've got is a speeding ticket.
Education, jobs, career, whatnot like this. And I'm thinking, here's the one time she actually overachieves on something that makes her like the rest of us. Let her have this, man.
Well, here's the thing.
This is the coolest thing about her so far.
Well, here and Jen's got a good point here. That made the front page of the Star and the Sun and all the newspapers. I didn't know if was it on the Star? I know it was on the Sun. I don't know if it was on the Star. Dougie didn't, and he's an actual criminal. Here's the funny thing, though.
Yes.
It's like all they've got on her is a speeding ticket. And of course, what they say, well, her bike must be awful fast. She had a rental car. She doesn't own a car. She had a rental car. Anybody with a driver's license and a credit card can rent a car, provided you meet those criteria, a driver's license and a credit card. Okay. They don't even ask for a driving record.
But it's like, she's like, again, the joke, right? She's the deputy prime minister. She's the minister of finance. Some people say that she's actually the real prime minister because Trudeau's as dumb as his socks.
Yes.
So they like to say she's single-handedly handling Putin. It's like she's a very, very busy woman. She needs to go fast. Very busy. Very
I didn't
busy.
know her bike went that fast or the subway went that fast. I'm like, wow, you guys are really reaching here.
Wrestling the inflation alligator. It's
the biggest nothing burger.
Get out of mama's way. Get out of mama's way.
It's the biggest nothing burger. It's the biggest nothing burger there is.
I just imagine like the Simpsons, Maggie Simpson.
The 1/3 pound nothing burger.
Like this when Marge and Maggie are driving in the Simpsons and Maggie Simpson's going, out of my way, out of my way. Things to do. Very, very busy. Very, very busy.
I'm a very busy and important person. I have things to take care of. You need to move.
But here's the thing, right? As the Conservatives are complaining daily about everybody's corruption and criminality, we have Doug frickin' Ford, now referred to the RCMP.
Yeah.
Now, where are all the microphones in front of every single Conservative's faces?
Did you
Premier or Prime Minister, Premier or federal or whatever, like this saying, got any comments about your buddy Doug Ford?
Did you see Dean's show yesterday?
I haven't seen it yet, no.
It was at 12:30, so, it's a little bit off time, with David Wallace. And David Wallace said the thing that most of us and many of us know, mainstream media in this country, with the exception of our national broadcaster, the mainstream media in this country is owned by Conservatives. Mm-hmm. They control the media. They control the information. They control the stories. There was somebody here who pointed out earlier. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know where it went. I had a thing about it, and he basically said Rachel Gilmore reported on Pierre Poilievre. She got fired. Yes. Glenn McGregor did the same. He got fired. Now nobody's asking questions. Well, it's because the cons control that wing of the media. So if you question any of their candidates and they don't like that line of questioning, you will find yourself out of a job. And Dean said it very well and very succinctly yesterday, along with David Wallace. The mainstream media in this country is a complete dereliction of duty. They are owned by the Conservative government. They are in the pocket of the Conservative government, because why is Doug Ford's face not splashed on every media outlet in this country about this criminal endeavor into the Greenbelt? And they threw one guy under the bus. One guy.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me that one guy is responsible for an $8.3 billion handover?
When he was handpicked and put there for that purpose.
Yeah,
of making that happen. Yeah,
come on.
Come on.
Pull my other leg. It plays Jingle Bells. You guys are so full of shit. Your eyes are brown. Come on. Come on. Do your damn job. We need a fairness doctrine in this country. We need to get all foreign ownership of our media out of this country.
If you're serious about election interference, that's where you start. Interference in our media, our information system. Yep.
Yeah. And our national broadcaster, CBC, which is our public national broadcaster, needs to pull up its socks and start doing its damn job, because it has failed on this file.
Mm-hmm.
It has. Now, for all we know, they might be doing a very deep investigative report on this, and that will come at a later date. That would be great, but at least keep it in the headlines that, we're looking into this, because this is pretty suspect. Yeah. Now, that being said, that the whole reason for the Auditor General's investigative report was because of reporting by, right?
Yes. Yep. Toronto Star and the Narwhal in particular, and the Auditor General pointed that out. Yep, exactly. And the last little bit of news, as everybody with a minimum of functioning brain cells who can rub them together and get a spark concluded, Jordan Peterson will have to face the Ontario College.
Good.
Like everybody said he would. I'm going to fight this. And it's like, no, you'll have to face it like this. And then I think the day before he posted this thing and said, listen, you'll have to face it. And then the next day, sure enough, you have to face it. There you go. There are certain things that are obvious. Right? When they were telling us, oh, the federal government can't put on a carbon. Yeah, they can. So, okay, do your dance for the next 3-4 years, raise your money, but we know where we're going to end up. And sure enough, that's where we ended up. So this was the same thing. He needs to lose this license. Yes, Kit Ellen, he really does. Yes. And the thing is everybody's saying, will he take his medicine or will he not? If he thinks it's more advantageous for him to lose his license and that he is more marketable as a martyr, he'll be uppity. And if he doesn't, he's going to be a very, very, very good boy. And go take that training.
Time will tell.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Grizzly, do we have a show?
We do indeed, sir.
All right, kids and cubs. All right, peeps and poops. That's the end of this episode of the Daily Beaver podcast. We hope that you love listening to us because we love making this for you. Remember that sharing is caring and word of mouth is priceless. So let your peeps and poops know about us. Say it loud. Say it loud. Tell everyone. Because democracy is something that you do. There you go. Okay. Yes.
There it is. There it is. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I found what I was looking for. Pierre Poliver attacked Rachel Gilmore. She lost her job shortly after. Glenn McGregor reported on the convoy shortly after he lost his job. Recently, a female reporter asked Pierre a question and was attacked. Now the media are afraid to report on anything negative about him because it's owned by the Conservative government. It's in the pocket. It's in the pocket. Provincial and federal.
Yep.
And remember, most of the provinces in this country are run by whom? The Conservatives.
Yes, but again, I'm just dying for Andrew Scheer to make some comment. Some Republicans that turn around and says, "Hey, buddy, Mike Ronan and you, and that $700,000, and oh, and by the way, your buddy Doug Ford. Got any comments? Let's talk about some actual corruption.
Yeah,
let's go."
Hang on, let me just keep going.
Yeah. If you really like this podcast, you can find us on the Crier Media Network, as well as all Beaver Grizzly friendly platforms. Stars and reviews are appreciated, so please be generous and make them plentiful. We'd love to hear from you. Reach us on our Facebook at True North Eager Beaver, our True Eager feed at Twitter, or at True Eager feed on Twitter.
Any comments, Mr. Scheer?
I like chocolate milk. That's the wildest thing about me.
Like the vegan guy who said, I like to drink strawberry milk because it's not from cows.
What?
You don't milk strawberry. Oh, never mind.
See, somebody by the little shrubs. Come on, strawberry.
Well,
I thought the seeds. So those weren't seeds on the outside. Those are the things that you.
they're teats.
Those
they're
are the
teats.
teats.
Yeah, that's how you milk. That's how you get strawberry milk.
Yeah.
You need only. It can only be done by children, right? Because you
I
need very
guess
tiny
because
fingers.
because their fingers are so nimble. Who do you think? Who do you think puts all these jewels on this? No,
Exactly.
no, your queen does not support child.
No, but the conservatives do.
But the conservatives do. Yeah, especially in the States, eh? Oh boy. No, that's here.
Here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's like in the States, they just passed a law where like 17-year-olds can serve alcohol. 15-year-olds can do shift work at night or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's in I think it's in the state that Sarah Huckabee Slanders, I think, runs, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Arkansas, but I might be wrong.
Here's what I'm going. Here's where my thought process. Boomers, what the hell have you been drinking? You fought against this once. Now you're fighting for it? What? We're in the upside down world, aren't we? We're in the opposite Star Trek, where Captain Kirk is evil. And everybody's trying to stab everybody else in the back.
Jeez.
14-year-olds working in meatpacking plants builds character.
Apparently. Yep.
I'm going to have a drink tonight, I guarantee you that. God, man.
It's a crazy world, man. You can subscribe to us via our pod page sponsored by The Ray Girl. Podpage.com/The True North Eager Beaver, lowercase letters with a hyphen between each one of those words, and that allows us to slip into your box as soon as we have something ready for you. Do we have that? Are we doing the other QR codes like for that beer thing all the time?
Yeah,
or just
I'll
every
throw it
now
up once in a blue moon.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know how they came about. That's why. Why not?
They just
also
showed up.
Oh, well, there you go. Why not also subscribe to our True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated YouTube channel? That helps us out big time. We crossed the 340. Oh, we love it, love it, love it, love it. Please, please help us. We want to get to 1,400 is the next milestone. So yeah, they're growing rapidly. So we really appreciate it.
The shorts bring a lot of people in. They also bring people in and go, that's a terrible clip. I'm like, thanks for watching. Remember to share, subscribe.
Well, like I told you, like some of those clips really are terrible.
Oh, I agree. But here's the thing:
word.
they get 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 views. They just bring people in.
Yeah. Well, the ones that I watch them though, I go through them like this, and the ones that bring in 2,400s are the ones that are not cut somewhere staccato weirdly in the middle.
I leave it up to the AI to do that though, because it's so much work.
I know.
I mean, but doing that alone takes a lot of time, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We can't do so. Yeah, make like Kit and Elaine and smash all 3 buttons: like, subscribe, and share.
Please and thank you.
Yes, please. We can't do this without your kind and generous support. So if you feel that we've done a particularly good month of shows, Mr. Grizzly has been sending me the numbers. Holy crow, this month, at least in terms of downloads. Those of you who are listening but not watching, thank you so much. Wow. Yeah, incredible amount of support.
A new milestone.
A new milestone. I think we passed the 1,000 unique listeners within a 30-day period threshold or something, which is just amazing for us. And that's just the podcast, because we get so much more on the video and whatnot.
Yes, so, because we're on multiple platforms.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your support. Whoever's tuning in and listening, we really, really appreciate it. So if you feel that we've done some good shows and you'd like to encourage us to do more, because this obviously comes at a cost, well, you can scan the QR code right by Mr. Grizzly's head, and that will bring you to the Eager Beaver Lodge Emergency Hydration Fund, where you can make a donation so that we can hire staff named Hot Chocolate and Caesar and Guinness. He's a good lad, that one. And they help us do everything that we need to do in order to get this to you, and maybe helps us pay some internet fees and other stuff. We don't drink at all. We don't need to be that hydrated. No, we actually do divert some into the actual shower.
This shit's expensive, man. Don't kid yourself.
So if you'd like to make your donation to the Beaver Party of Canada.
Ooh, thanks, careful
Dan.
Now.
Thanks, kids, Dan. No, we're not a party.
We can call ourselves the Beaver Party of Canada, but not.
We are a party.
Yes.
We're a wild party, even. Right, Kim Mitchell?
I am a wild party. Rah, rah, ole.
But yeah, if you'd like to make a donation, please scan that QR code, or if you're listening, go to ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver, lowercase letters, all in one word, and that's where you can make your donation. I just saw Kit Chrystia going, hi bye, my friend. Thank you. Nothing above $1,700, Tabby G. Kit Tabby G reminds us. Yes, nothing above $100,700. Hey,
oh, right, political donations.
Political donation limit. Yeah, exactly. Hey, if anybody ever dropped $1,700, I'd be like, ah. Yeah, gee, if you really want to see a happy dance, woo.
I'll do the whole show in my Speedo.
I'll dance for $1,700. I got no pride.
I got to get the Angry Man Speedo rants soon.
Yes.
Speedo Man rants. I got to get the OnlyFans going.
Yes. From the
I
Beaver
don't know
Lodge.
when I'm going to have time to work on that, though. I'm so busy. Anyway, keep going, sir. My apologies.
From the Beaver Lodge, this is your Eager Beaver saying, until next time, dear kids, it could be a tough world out there, so please be kind to and very, 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 very gentle with yourself. Mr. Grizzly, please, some words of wisdom.
Yeah. If you have a chance, and if you're fortunate enough, like I am, to have both your parents still in your life, if you are fortunate like I am, not everybody is. If you have a relationship with them, spend some time with them. Spend some one-on-one time with them like I did last night. We had a lot of fun. My mom and I haven't done anything one-on-one in a couple of years. You know, that whole pandemic thing is a bit of a complication. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. So if you have a chance, if you are fortunate enough to have your parents in your life, or somebody, an elder in your life that you love, respect, and admire, spend some time with them. Spend some one-on-one time with them. Because look, as the days march forward, their time on this earth is limited, just like yours.
Indeed, indeed. All right, Mr. Grizzly, please roll those credits.
I got to find them. There they are.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver media podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum. And The Pepper Master, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
All right, we have a comment from Kit Saucy going, giving you some advice for your angry Speedo Man rants. Just wear the Speedo all day and find time to slip it in. Sending love to Kit Dan's mom, who's going in for eye surgery tomorrow.
Oh, best of luck.
Yes, best of luck. And to the rest of you, have a great day. Have a beaverific day. Eh?
Here's an actual Easter egg for you. This is just a few seconds from last night's Rod Stewart performance. You can see.
Yes.
There's more, but we hit the 26-second mark. I'm going to pull out, so
yep.
I don't want to get any copyright violations. No, I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Come on.
Hey, that was a good one. Yeah, you're right. You know, I did toss it right across the plate for you.
Oh, I see. We have a Kit to the Daily Beaver who must be listening a little late. He's got his bed in 5'11", 302, 310 if his diaper's full. Oh.
Yep, one more clip for you.
312 if he ate a taco bowl.
One more clip, and this is exactly 30 seconds.
Good stuff. All right.
No, that's it. Yeah, let's
go.
go.
I thought you were going to say something. I thought I cut you off.
All right. Thanks for coming out. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Welcome to the place where everyone knows your name, where everyone's your friend, where good times are had by all. Sit back, relax, pour yourself a beverage and enjoy our company. I know we'll certainly enjoy yours. Welcome to the True North Eager Beaver Pubcast. Once a month, we gather at the Lieutenant's Pump at 361 Elgin Street in downtown Ottawa, Canada's capital city, bringing you joy and happiness all day long.